And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Kpush podcast, episode 186. That's right. It's episode 186. Remember in last week's episode when I said that we would get a guest on? Remember that? Remember how I said that I promised? I was like, no. Next week, guys, you're not going to hear me ramble again for 45 minutes. I promise I'll get another open micer on the podcast so that you can hear them ramble. You know? That's really what it comes down to, is you want to hear somebody else just spew shit about Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sick and tired about hearing my ideas about Jeffrey Epstein bounce off the walls. Okay? It is what it is, cuz I'm sick of it. I want to throw my ideas about Jeffrey Epstein at somebody's face. Okay? That's what I want. I just want to throw them at somebody's face. I want to find somebody. I want to find somebody who actually thinks what Trump is saying is true. And I just want to, shake them. You know, I want to, grab them and shake them. Because apparently, there is people. Obviously, not the, Mossad agents like Ben Shapiro. Not people bought by Israel. Not those people. I'm talking about like a hillbilly, like some fucking retard on the side of the road who's like, nah. That was a bad whistle. Hold up. That was better. I just want to find them. I want to find them and go, dude, what do you think? What do you think about this? Anyways, I'm sitting in a fucking chair with my feet up. I'm slowly giving up at this podcast. I'm just slowly done caring about this thing. I've been kind of caring about it for 4 years, and it's gotten me nothing. It's put me nowhere. Joe Rogan said to start a podcast, and 17-year-old me listened, and now 21-year-old me is living in the nightmare. I'm just living in the nightmare of my 17-year-old self's dream. Yeah. That's great. Living in the nightmare of my 17-year-old self's dream. Aren't we all, though? Isn't that what we all are doing? It's like most people's dreams are better than this. You know what I'm saying? It's just most people's dreams are a lot better than hoping somebody would listen to you rant about Israel. I mean, most people want to become astronauts. They want to become firefighters, doctors, lawyers. Me, I'm like, nah. I want to sit up in a chair with my balls out and just make fun of Texans being killed in a flood. That's it. That's That's my dream. That's what I want, and I'm doing that. But I didn't think... Well, what didn't I think? I guess I didn't think how repetitive it would have gotten. especially the solo episodes. You don't understand what it's like to have little to no thoughts at all, and then to put all of that out on the internet. Everything I've ever thought is out on the internet. All of it. There's not one thing I've thought about that isn't on the internet, and I find myself repeating almost every episode, just consistently. Every episode. So I guess we gotta talk about new stuff. I don't know if I want to talk about news or if I want to talk about myself. I'm not sure. What are we feeling? Let me look at the list. I have a list of stuff here. I guess I should follow that. I guess I should follow that. Now, this is something I wrote down. We'll talk about this because nobody cares about this anymore, by the way. I love this. I love it so much. Remember the big, beautiful bill? That was in the news. It was in the news 2 weeks ago. And it was really important. Do you remember that? Remember how we were nah, the big, beautiful bill, that's Trump's downfall. I mean, cuz it's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy, cuz you got this thing that was the big, beautiful bill, and it was 2 weeks ago. I mean, it just happened. It didn't happen that long ago. And people couldn't give a fuck. Yeah, everyone gave a fuck. 2 weeks ago. I wrote this down 2 weeks ago. I didn't get it into the last 45 the last 45 minutes of me rambling. I didn't get to it. But now it's here on my list, and I think it's fascinating that it doesn't even matter anymore. You know, apparently it was increasing the spending. They're sending a lot of money to ICE for alligator Alcatraz. Also, great. I mean, you got to give it to Trump. I don't know. Did he call it alligator Alcatraz, or is that just what Tim Dillon called it? And I think, and I just think for whatever, because I get all my news from Tim Dillon. I just think that's the official name of the island is alligator Alcatraz. Here's the thing, right? With that, you can't keep having Republicans run on this idea that we got to cut taxes and we got to cut government spending. And every time they're in there, it just goes up. It's every single time. It doesn't not happen. And they want to send more money to and here's the thing with these bills, right? They're 300 pages long. All of these bills that get passed, they're 3,000 pages long. If I were to even attempt to read it as a dyslexic person, I think I would die before I finished it. And I'm not if I started reading the big, beautiful bill, it would take me the rest of my lifetime. I would skip out on having kids. I wouldn't have a wife, comedy out the door. I would just be reading the big, beautiful bill. And so this is a lot of the problems with these bills, is nobody's really reading this shit, cuz. Nobody's reading this shit, and I know I'm talking as a fucking dyslexic retard who doesn't who doesn't read anything. I get it. I get where you're listening to this and you're like, Chris, not everybody is like you, cuz. You're special, and I get that. I understand. But really, are people really reading the whole bill? Are they really doing that? Or are they just listening to what Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson and Bill Maher tell you? Did you hear that? Tell them. Is that it? Is that what people are they actually like sitting down? I'm picturing the people who do this are like old, like wizard robe. You know, like if somebody's actually going to read the big beautiful bill, you got to get like into the right, the right vibe, the right atmosphere, right? You got to like build the big beautiful bill. You're going to read it. It's only going to take 30 days. It's going to take 30 days. So you got to like get the candlelight. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You got to get the candlelight. You got to get the wizard robe on. And you just have some old fuck. Some old white fuck who probably went to Vietnam read the big beautiful. And then what, by the way? And then what? Like by the time, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to read the whole big beautiful bill. What are you going to do? By the time you're done reading it, it's past. What are you... What are you doing? And apparently Trump went after Thomas Massey, because Thomas Massey is a he's what is he? I don't know what the fuck this is the thing. This is always my problem when like people my age give their political takes, is like, can we all come to the common ground that we really don't know what you're talking about? Can we just say that? Can we just say, when all these people who are like so confident, they want to post their political views on like their Instagram account where they have a bikini photo where their titties hanging out. It's like, cuz you don't want to put your political viewpoint right next to your Instagram with your tits hanging out. It just does. It's not a good look for anybody. Literally for anybody, it's not a good look for. But yeah, no, people get too fucking confident in their political opinions at such a young age. It's just too much. Just accept the fact that you're retarded as me. Not as retarded, but you're close. I mean, come on, you're kind of close. Okay, so here's Thomas Massey, okay? Is the American political and engineer, a member of the Republican Party. Massey has been the United States representative for Kentucky's 4th congressional district since 2012. Okay, so he's in the Congress. So this guy's in the Congress or whatever. Trump is fucking going after him. And you might ask, Chris, how do you know Thomas Massey? What do you know? What research have you done about Thomas Massey? I'll tell you right here, okay? Dave Smith says he's cool. Dave Smith says he's a good guy, okay? And that's like enough for me at this point. You gotta just choose somebody, by the way. You're not gonna keep up. You're not gonna do the whole big, beautiful bill research. Just pick a guy. Is Tucker your guy? Who is it? Is it Nick Fuentes? Is it Candace Owens? Who's your guy? Is it Theo Von? Is Theo Von your guy for political takes? I'm being dead serious. Like, there's always one guy that you should have where you go, I'm not going to give my political take until I hear this guy's opinion. Because I'm just going to go with whatever he says. When people ask me, they go, what's your foreign policy? I just pull up a video of Dave Smith. Hold on. Let me get to my YouTube app real quick. And I just play a video of Dave Smith. And I'm like, there, you see what he said? That sounds smart. That sounds like it's right, and no one's beating him. No one beat him, and he's smart. That's my... Why do you trust Dave Smith so much, Chris? Come on. Seriously. He's just like this guy. He's a comedian. He's literally a comedian on YouTube. And I look at the person, and I go, he sound smart. He sound smart. And no one beat him. No one beat him, and he really smart. He really smart, and I really like him. I really like Dave Smith, and I actually appreciate his take on a lot of things. On a lot of things, I appreciate a lot of take on Dave Smith. That's what I say. What? Don't come at me. Don't come at me for being authentic. Isn't everybody trying to be authentic now? Wasn't that the thing? I'm being authentic when I'm pretending to be retarded. That's... That's me. That's me on the inside. That's... Okay? It is what it is, cuz. That's just me. So, here's what I find interesting about this big, beautiful bill, and this was a big thing between Donald Trump and Thomas Massie, is nobody cares about it right now. Nobody cares about it after the 12-day war between Iran, Israel, and the United States of America. And then you have the Epstein files, and then you have P. Diddy, and nobody cares. Nobody could give a fuck. What's going on with Gaza? Does anybody know? I keep forgetting that this is happening, by the way. Does anyone, forget? Somebody will be like, Gaza, and then you're like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that place. Huh. Wonder what's going on there. You know? I just forget. I zone out. You can't pay attention to all the sand countries. You know what I mean? It's always the same. Oh, these people, they're fighting, and the Jews. It always comes down to that. You know what I mean? It's the same story every time. And so I got this, what is it? I got this article that I found. And I thought that it was really interesting, and I wanted to read the headline, because that's what... Not interested. I thought that this was really interesting. Yeah. So here it is, right? And here's the title. It's first round of Gaza ceasefires talks ends without a breakthrough. And I forget how long ago this was. Let me take a look here. Oh my God, I gotta pull it up for you guys. Do you see how much work I do? You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome for all the hard work I do as a podcaster for me to talk shit. No, this was July 6th. So this is 10 days ago. And I forgot that Gaza was a thing. I forgot. And this is 10 days ago. And I've heard no update on the ceasefire. So it's just going, and you're just not, no matter how much you scream and throw a temper tantrum, this is just not going away. It's just going to be here. Here's what's going to happen, is you're going to see a photo of Gaza, 6 months from now. And it's just going to be gone. I mean, is there an ad? Oh my God, would you look at this? These little whores. No. I mean, it's just going to be gone. I mean, it's going to be underground. It's going to be underground. The whole place. The whole place. There's not going to be a person there left. And they're still going to be writing headlines like we're negotiating. We're negotiating with the rumble of Gaza. And they'll just keep bombing it. They won't care. The whole place will be gone. They'll bomb it 10 years from right now. They'll just keep it going. They'll just keep throwing bombs at the land. They're not killing anybody. But Raytheon, they need to get their money from their bombs somehow. And so now Gaza's just going to, it's not even going to be on the map. I mean, they're going to change the world map with what they do to that small block of land. And it is what it is. And then you had Iran, remember Netanyahu, that our biggest ally, actually, is Netanyahu. This guy right here. He came to the United States right after, apparently 10 days ago, he was still arguing with Gaza. I'm sure he was working real hard with that. He came over here, and he was like, we might still go to war with Iran. And there was that Trump memo, that Trump press. I should pull these things up, but what are we doing here? What are we doing here? This is old news. If you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing? Why are you listening to here? Yeah, Netanyahu's just like, come on, bro. What are we not? We're not going to go to war with Iran? What are you, nuts? Gay? I think that's gay. That's what Netanyahu's just going to start saying. What, not go to war with Iran? Pfft, gay. What are you, fucking gay? Why don't you suck some dick? How about that? That's what he's just going to start telling. This is what Ben Shapiro and Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump, all these guys are just going to start going. You're going to look at them and you're going to go, hey, I don't want a forever sand war. And they're just going to go, oh, really? You don't want a sand war? How about gay? There's no argument. There's no argument. So they'll just resort to third grader arguments. They'll go gay. They'll look at you and you'll be like, hey, do we have to go to war with Iran? And they'll go, your mom went to war with Iran. They'll just start bringing out your mom jokes. They'll start being like, I know you're at war with Iran, but what am I? And you'll go, what? What? They go, we should stop bombing Gaza. They go, I know you should stop bombing Gaza, but what are you? wait, you go, what? I don't even think you said that right. You go, I know you didn't say that right, but what did I say? And you go, what are we doing here? They'll just go, stupid face, stupid face, stupid face. Who knows, though? Maybe Ben Shapiro will make a logical argument as to why we need to send $10 more billion to Israel. So here's the thing, though. I'm done here. I have nothing else to talk about. I could just repeat what Dave Smith said in his podcast, which I don't intend on doing. One of these days, I'm just going to come on here with Mike and just actually record the audio of a Tim Dillon podcast and just upload that. Just fuck it, cuz. What are we doing? Here's Tim Dillon. It'll be like an old-ass episode. Just, nope, that's me. People will be like, is that Tim Dillon? Nope, that's me. All right. So, I'm fucking tired. I woke up this morning. I had to get a fucking tooth filled. I guess I asked this dentist to fill up this tooth. Um, Apparently, the weirdest thing happened with this dentist. I gotta tell you the story. So I got this tooth removed when I was 17 years old because it was so badly filled with cavities. They were just like, we gotta take it out. And then I got my wisdom teeth removed. I got all four removed. And then, um, literally last week, I was talking to my dentist and I was saying, hey, can we get an implant or put some in, the slot that's like open because I feel like it's making my gums weaker, not having that tooth there, not using that like jaw. I feel like the gums are becoming weaker and I'm just going to get gingivitis. And he looked at it and he was like, no, dude, your wisdom tooth moved over. Your wisdom tooth moved over right where that hole is and it's filled. And what's going on is you're getting food stuck in between the gap in between those two teeth, your wisdom tooth and your regular tooth. And it's right in the back, right? The top left molar. And I was like, my wisdom teeth are gone. And he was like, nope. I was like, no, my wisdom teeth, they're like not there. And he was like, nah, I'm like looking at it. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, I had the surgery. I looked at the teeth. All my wisdom teeth are gone. He's like, nah. I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? He's like, we can use the wisdom tooth. I'm like, all right, perfect. So I they just filled up that tooth and they made it like an actual tooth, I guess. The wisdom tooth is like far smaller than the other tooth. I thought that he was gonna fill up that bitch, but he didn't. So I woke up. I did that today. I had the dentist, and then I came back. I went to the grocery store, hit the sauna. Then me and my buddy Joey Cash, you can see it on Along for the Vibes. We do that show together every Friday at 8 o'clock over at Cold Town Theater on 2nd Street here in Austin, Texas. And I'm a lot more energetic there than I am on this solo episode, I promise. I promise you, I actually am entertaining. I'm actually entertaining on that show. Not on this one. Not on my own show. God, no. What would be the point of being entertaining on your own show? That sounds horrible. Yeah, we went and we handed out flyers. I printed 130 flyers for the show next Friday. We're doing the free pizza night. We're trying to do this free pizza night once a month, so it will help bring people in because we are struggling to bring people into the show. And I'm like confused because I'm watching a lot of people at comedy shows that are way worse than ours. And they like watch, they pay attention. There's people who pay attention to open mics, in Austin. And I'm like, how do I bring these people into this show? And I don't know how to do that, but I figured flyers was like a good start. I'm sort of figuring out the marketing aspect of this whole thing. And I gotta say, these shitty jobs you work at, man, whatever you want to call it, like Taco Bell, McDonald's, Burger King, Domino's, Chipotle, all these terrible, shitty food service jobs. I work at Kava, which falls under that category. And you got to give it up. It really depends how bad your job is depending on your manager. I mean, it's the whole fucking job. The whole job all depends on the guy in charge. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because my boss at Kava let me print 130 flyers for the show for free. And that probably would have cost me $20-$30 at Staples easily, minimum. And you just you can't appreciate it enough. Because that's the type of shit that makes good employees stay. That's the other part of being a good manager is, when to throw the dog a bone. And it just fucking, because what I want, I brought it up to my boss using the printer, and I told him that I would buy the ink and buy the paper, and I would use my own ink and my own paper. I would just use the printer, because even if I just bought the ink and the paper, it's still significantly cheaper than printing out all the flyers at Staples or Office Depot or whatever place you can print at. And, dude, it just fucking made my life so much easier. Like, I can't describe how much easier it made my life, and how much it did make me think a little bit about these shitty jobs and how much they are impacted by the boss. But either way, I'm on another tangent. We handed out 130 flyers in 10 days, and the show's next week, so I'm gonna go print fucking 100 more, and I'm gonna hand out those bitches too. Dude, I don't know if we print out, and I'm probably going to even print out a little bit extra. I probably am going to hand out around 250 flyers. If I can't bring in fucking 15 people from 250 flyers, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I really don't. And you hear comedians all the time, they'll talk about this, like the early days of starting stand-up comedy. Of like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. You got to like bark. You got to go. You got to figure out marketing strategies, and you got to get really creative, and you got to think outside the box. And they always romanticize it, but in the moment, it's so stressful. You're so tired. You're on an antibiotic. You got to record a podcast at 3:00 in the morning. It's just weird. It's weird because in the moment, and it is fun. It is fun, and it is thrilling, and it almost gives you as much energy as it does take out of you, in sort of a way, like this adrenaline rush of going on this adventure, going to businesses, handing out flyers, and preparing for the show that you hope is going to be really good. The thrills and adrenaline that come with that come at a cost, but they also give you spirit and energy as a human being. And, man, it's odd. Because I don't think even in the moment when you try and stop and you think about it, even on a podcast by yourself at 3:00 in the morning, it just doesn't seem like you'll really appreciate it until you make it out. Because then that it was all for something. Like this podcast right now, I'll never really appreciate doing this podcast, not having an audience, having no pressure. I'll never really appreciate that until I do have an audience, until I'm making money. And I guess I don't really have a point with this. It's just very interesting. I just think it's fascinating. But anyway, we handed out flyers, we barked, and then I went and I hit 3 open mics right afterwards and came back at 2:00 in the morning. I ate eggs, and now I'm here on this podcast with you. So, yeah, that's fun. I'm thinking a lot about this show, man, next week. And I'll be honest, I can totally see how shows end, how bands end, how things go wrong. And I'm thinking a lot about that. And I think I've kind of gathered a lot of anxiety around the show I'm doing because it means so much to me. Because I don't really know what I would do without this show. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I would go back to being really lost. And I've kind of found myself with the show. I kind of have taken pride in the fact that I have a show that I heavily contribute to. But in that, I'm starting to see how easily it would be for a band to kind of separate, you know? Let me take a sip of water. So here's the thing. Right? There's certain people that I'm working with that I know they're not working as hard as me. I don't want to name names, but there's people who seem to really not give a fuck. And you wonder, either you just got to keep going and hopefully you have a good enough work ethic and you're talented enough to sort of pick up the slack of those people who aren't working as hard as you are, or it's just going to fail. And there's just people in this group that I'm in right now who I know they're not doing even half of what I'm doing. Not even half. And that's really fucking frustrating. And I even asked I asked some people, on the show, like, hey man, what do you think these chances are of this show going really good? And they were like iffy on it. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, if you put all the fucking effort in the world, I really think this thing would have been blown up by now. And, there's just people that I know, they don't really want to try. They don't really want to work. And so it's frustrating because we really fucking have something. Like, this show could be a big fucking break. It's got everything. The show's got everything. Along for the Vibes has fucking everything, and somehow it kind of works. There's kinks in the armor for sure. But overall, it's still good armor piece. You just got to refine it, Add all the little details. Perfect it week by week by week. Doesn't work if people aren't there every week. If every fucking week somebody's got, this, that, it isn't going to fucking work. And sometimes those things are legitimate. Sometimes somebody just can't be somewhere. I get it. But I also know that there's people who could go and they're not. And so it's frustrating. Because I don't really think that they appreciate what we got right now. So, and UCB just bought Cold Town, and that's a improv company, and now they own Cold Town, and they already switched us back to the cabaret and booked an improv class over us. And so, unless we really start to get this show going, I don't really know, how this is going to play out. And I was telling this guy, Austin Nash, and I was talking to him about UCB buying Cold Town. And he was talking about, Like, it could be really good. Brand new companies coming in. They're going to bring in a lot of money, and this could really, like, blow you guys up. And I'm very skeptical that they're going to give a fuck about us at all, quite frankly. I don't know that they'll really care. And I could just be overthinking this whole thing. I very well could be. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt that I'm overthinking this thing, but I guess I don't really know. But what are you going to fucking do? Nothing. Can't do fucking anything. I'm going to try to switch to this mic stand, so give me 1 second. Hello? Alright, we're back. Yeah, man. I don't fucking know. I'm a little disappointed in this whole thing. I mean, it can still go great. I'm holding out hope. I got this feeling, this gut feeling, man, that something about this shit ain't gonna work out. And people just don't get, like, how much fucking work that shit is. I don't fucking get it. But, man, we got a show, dude, that's music, comedy, a little bit of improv. We want to add a TV so we can start doing, like, bits and sketches and all that weird, funky shit. It's live stream. Anybody in the fucking world can watch it at any point in any time. We're like a late night show in Austin at a budget of $0. Yeah, man. It just sucks to see somebody not care as much as you. And I care so much about this shit. Like, I've prided myself on it. So when you see somebody who doesn't care, you're just like, God damn it, dude. How are we in the same place? How are we in the same spot? I don't fucking get it. How are you here? Standing here looking at me. Bro, I would give my fucking life to this. I don't know. I don't know. Is it boring when I just say I don't know? I mean, I guess it's just the realistic conclusion of, like, a 21-year-old having a podcast. Just like anything I say, just like, well, who the fuck do I know? I mean, in reality, what the fuck do I know? I want to talk about one more thing, and then we're done here. I want to wrap this up, cause it is. I mean, it's almost 3:30 in the morning. Also, I know that I said that the podcasts were coming out on Wednesday. Shut up. For me, it's still Wednesday. I didn't go to bed yet. It will be uploaded by the time I go to bed. Just because I go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning doesn't mean it doesn't count as Wednesday. You know what I mean? Fuck off. It's only 4 hours late. Unless you're in standard time zone. I saw a scorpion. In my apartment. And even me saying it out loud, I feel like it's going to be like Bloody Mary. You know, when you say Bloody Mary 3 times in a mirror? And then I don't remember that. Or, like, there was, like, a couple of those things. But anyways, point of the story. If I fucking say, like, scorpion 3 times, I swear to God, there's just going to be one that appear. There's just going to be, like, one that comes out of fucking nowhere. I swear to God, it was the most terrifying thing ever. It was gut wrenching, and there was like this primal fear element when I saw it. Like, I didn't know what the fuck to do. I called my mom. Of like freaking out. And it does something to you, man. When you see it, when you know that exists, you just go, hey, man, you know what? Maybe I don't live in Texas forever. They're so fucking terrifying, man. So terrifying. And I even know, like their tails were like tails. Like, did you know that shit that they sting you with, that like little prick thing? That thing goes down. Like a dog tail. That thing like can go down, and then it's just like a part of their body. And their tail is like half their size because it like, it fucking goes into that classic scorpion stance, ready to fucking sting you. And apparently, like, you go to the hospital if you get stung. Cuz I see a scorpion or whatever, it sneaked up on me, and you're just in the hospital. No idea how the scorpion got in my fucking house. Or apartment, I should say, not house. I just been thinking, like, how long has that shit been there? How long did I just sleep with it? Was it just in my apartment and I slept? That's terrifying. That's absolutely fucking terrifying. And I have a coworker. I don't know. I guess I won't say her name, but it doesn't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But this girl I work with, I told her that was the first scorpion I've ever seen, and her mouth dropped. Like, she was shocked that was the first scorpion I had ever seen. And she was like, that was the first one you've ever seen? I was like, yeah, dude, what? What do you mean, you just see scorpions? And she said that she used to live in the country in Texas. And apparently rocks were like surrounding her house, and then it was all like grassy lands. And she was just like, look, on the rocks were insects, cockroaches, scorpions, spiders, and in the grass was just snakes. I'm like, so you lived in a horror story. So, like, you lived literally in a fucking horror story. Like, that sounds like an X Factor. Like, Joe Rogan would set that up as a house. And you just, like, lived there. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know how people do it. I can't deal. Like, I haven't been able to, like, really sit in my apartment comfortably since I saw it. It's gonna take, like, months. Like, months and months and months of not seeing a scorpion for me to even feel remotely comfortable. Is that it? Cover everything. There's another piece of paper that fell. Oh yeah, I got the mouth infection. That was the other thing I wanted to say, dude. Trying to lose weight, dude. Trying to lose weight on an antibiotic is literally impossible. It's literally fucking impossible. I lost like 6 pounds in 3 weeks. But one of the weeks I was on an antibiotic, so I know I gained weight again. And it just fucking pisses me off. And then, setting up for trade school, keeping the pod going, doing the Along for the Vibe show. I just really haven't had time to, like, really consistently work out. I've worked out like 3 times a week, at least, probably. Probably 2. At least 2 per week. And then this week I've hit really pretty much almost every day. And it just sucks, man. Just fucking sucks. Losing weight is so hard. I'm not even, like, really overweight. I just, like, snap sometimes, and I gain 15 pounds, and then I gotta lose it. Like, man, if you're 400 pounds, oh my God. So much fucking work. Oh, yeah, I'm watching Avatar. That was the other thing. I'm watching Avatar. It's a good show. Really good show. I never got to watch it as a kid because my sister would always tell me to turn off the boys' shows so I can get to watch Avatar or Adventure Time. Yeah, Avatar's good. Really good show. It's great. Got depressed, started like a 20-minute episode show. Always fixes it. Always. All right, well, that's it. That's episode 186. I know not really that energetic or eventful, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I tried to get 3 guests on. All of them said no. One of them canceled last minute. Guys, I'm trying. So, I'm trying. Hopefully next week. I have a guest scheduled for this weekend. Hopefully they show up. I don't know. We'll find out. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been episode 186. Pretty laid back, chill, whatever. Either way, thank you for listening. Bye-bye.